Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Lunch with Lisa. I am Lisa Warner, and I am the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing. Want to see some magic? Ta-da! Out of nothing. There it is. The Simplicity of Self-Healing. I've been working on that magic trick forever. Anyway, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I wanted to talk about real healing. It's time. It's time for us to create the well-being that we desire. It's time for us to heal ourselves and the world. This earth is beautiful. This planet is filled with amazing beauty. The deep blue oceans filled with life. The mountains, the lakes, the streams, the waterfalls, the trees, the flowers. This earth is the Garden of Eden. This is heaven, complete with rainbows. We live on heaven, but we're not experiencing heaven. We're actually experiencing the opposite. We're living in hell in the Garden of Eden. Why? Because the Garden of Eden has been systematically defiled, raped, destroyed. Fear, doubt, guilt, worry, shame, blame, poverty, war, crime, punishment. All of these things create dis-ease on this beautiful planet and in our beautiful selves and our beautiful cells. These bodies are amazing. These bodies are designed to self-regulate. They are designed to rebalance themselves, to heal themselves automatically, naturally, for free. I discovered this when I was facing cancer, waking up every day terrified of what was happening to my body. The fear prevailed. Every single cell was filled with fear. Every day I was living out of balance, out of harmony with myself, with my soul purpose, with my joy, with the peace, the ease, the harmony that is natural for us. Why was I living that way? I couldn't figure out. For me, I could not figure out the logic of this planet at all. It did not seem logical to me in the least. Having to go out and get some soul-sucking job to make $10 or $12 an hour, or whatever it was, none of that made any sense to me, and I didn't know where I fit in. I couldn't see where I fit in. I didn't see the same thing that everybody else saw. I thought differently. I looked at the world differently. I just didn't fit in. And because I didn't feel like I fit in, I felt like I was a screw up. I felt like I was a failure because I just couldn't seem to make my life work. Until finally, this healthy, fit athlete body was no longer healthy or fit. And I was no longer being an athlete. I was simply being fat and scared and weak and miserable. And then my body started to react, and it was terrifying. So what I realized was that in order for me to actually heal myself, I needed to bring my entire being back into balance. I knew that my body was out of balance because I was out of balance as a being. I knew that chemotherapy was not going to rebalance my being. Maybe it would heal my body, but it wasn't going to heal the actual problem. And I knew that if I allowed chemotherapy or radiation or radical surgery or pharmaceuticals to do the healing for me, that I was still going to be out of balance because I wouldn't be standing in my own power. For me, that was about giving my power away. I wasn't going to be utilizing it as a tool for healing. I was going to be relying on something else and someone else to do the healing for me. And I knew that's not where the actual healing lied. The healing lies within. Yes, we can use these other things as tools to help us. Foods, diets, protocols, whatever it is that we use to heal. Those are the tools that we use. But when we use the tools to heal ourselves, what are we actually doing? We are creating health. We are creating our healthiest, happiest selves. So I contend that we don't need to heal our bodies. We don't need to heal the world. The healing happens naturally. What we have to do is we have to start insisting on being healthy and happy. We have to start creating inner peace. We have to start insisting on our own inner peace. Because health and happiness come from inside. They don't come from the external world. Believe me, look, you don't even have to believe me. You just have to look at the external world. There is not a lot of health and happiness happening in the external world. There's an awful lot of energy slinging. There's a lot of blaming, shaming, guilting, finger pointing going on out in the world. There's a lot of disrespect, a lot of disharmony, a lot of fear going on in the external world. And we as a society, we're simply allowing it to happen. We actually are inviting it. By watching the news, by watching all of the stories, by going, oh my God, this is terrible, this is awful. We simply are adding our energy to terrible and awful. We don't need to do this. On this beautiful planet that can be paradise, that's the template, that's the blueprint of Earth. The Garden of Eden is the blueprint. A planet that gives us everything we need for food, shelter, clothing, companionship, beauty, inspiration. Everything is here. We are provided for by Mother Earth and by our own ingenuity. But we have been convinced that we need the government and the healthcare system and other people to provide for us. This is at the root of all ills on our planet, is that we have been talked out of our sovereignty as creators. We have been talked out of the fact that we are creators. We are creating our reality in every moment. But the media, the news, the healthcare systems, they tell us what to create. I've been having conversations with people lately that have been talking to me about their experiences with the healthcare system. They say, I go to get a checkup and the doctors say, oh, well, you're fine right now, but if you don't, blah, 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 in the future, you may get blah, blah, blah. They're painting a picture of disease in the future. They plant the seed of disease in our consciousness. And they say, you better look out for that. You better try to avoid that. You better do everything you can to not get that. So what do? We go, whoa, God, I hope I don't get that thing. Well, I better do what they say. I better listen. I better try to avoid that. But you know what happens? The very thing that we try to avoid, we end up attracting to us. Why? Because the things that we fear are very magnetic. And the very things that we fear are the very things that we attract. So why don't we flip this all around? And let's start creating, attracting the things that we desire. Let's start insisting on well-being. Let's start insisting on beauty, on health, on well-being, on happiness. How do we do that? We start listening to our own inner guidance systems. We stop listening to the narrative that you have to do this or else. Anytime somebody tells you, you have to do this, or you better be worried about this or else, do not accept that as your truth. Unless you're really excited about the or else. Does wearing a mask feel good? Why does it feel good? Humans have lived for millions upon millions of years without ever wearing masks. And we have survived really, really nicely. Well, nicely, we have survived as a species. Let's put it that way. So is it true that we have to wear masks? No, it's not, actually. Does it feel good to go get a shot? Why? Because it's alleviating our fears. We're trying to avoid our fears. Wearing a mask, avoiding the fear of getting sick. Getting the shot, avoiding future disaster. We cannot live our lives trying to avoid future disaster because all we're doing is inviting future disaster. We are creators. What we place our focus on is what we create. So when we place our focus on future disaster, guess what we're creating? So let's turn the whole thing around. Let's spin it around and let's start focusing on the beauty. Let's start focusing on what we truly want. What do we really, really want? We want to be able to walk around this planet feeling at home in our own bodies. We want to feel at home on this beautiful planet. We want to feel in peace and ease with ourselves and each other. We want to live in harmony, in freedom, in health, wealth, happiness. Therefore, we have to start insisting on it for ourselves, not for the rest of the world, not for anybody else, but for ourselves. And each and every one of us has everything we need right inside. It's called the soul. Everything we need has already been given to us to create healthy, wealthy, happy, harmonious lives on this beautiful planet. But we have to start insisting on this for ourselves. So this is why I'm here on this planet at this time. I found myself facing cancer. I realized I couldn't go the medical route. It wasn't for me. For me, my sole purpose, there was something else I needed to discover, something I needed to learn. So instead of using the medical system, I went inside. I started connecting to the wisdom of my soul. And when I stopped looking through my human eyes in fear of going, oh my God, this is horrible. When I started looking through the eyes of my soul, instead of through the lens of fear, I saw a completely different scenario about what was going on with my body. My soul showed me that what was going on with my body was trying to help me. What was happening to my body was what my body was doing on purpose. Nothing was happening to my body. My body wasn't being attacked by something. My body was doing what it was doing on purpose. It was trying to help me. As soon as I was able to see this through my soul's eyes, it became completely obvious that I could trust my body to heal itself. As soon as I stepped away from the fear, I stepped into trust. I stepped back into alignment with my soul, with my body, and I brought the mind back on board. The body, mind, and soul are one. They're not three pieces. So now I help other people bridge the gap between disease and well-being, because there's a direct route. And that direct route is not necessarily through pills or radiation or chemotherapy or the medical system at all, period. The direct route to healing is bringing yourself, body, mind, and soul, back into alignment by clearing out all of the false beliefs that we have been conditioned with, programmed with. We don't have to create worst case scenario. And you know what? We can start insisting on heaven on earth. We can start creating heaven on earth for each and every one of us, but it starts with ourselves. We have to create heaven on earth for ourselves first. Then we model it for everybody else. When we insist on heaven on earth for ourselves and we create it for ourselves, we will never again fall prey to somebody else's story about what if you don't, then. We never have to fall prey to that again. And we don't have to walk around wearing labels of cancer, bipolar disorder, Hashimoto's, chronic fatigue. We don't have to carry those placards. They don't belong to any of us. Our bodies are designed to rebalance themselves automatically. We just have to see how that works. Are you ready to bring yourself back into balance? I do private coaching sessions, and now I am also offering, ta-da, brand new offer today, starting in April, group coaching sessions for if you have spoken to me and you have it's not in your budget for private coaching sessions. I am offering low cost group coaching sessions. There's power in numbers, because ultimately, no matter what the diagnosis, what the problem is, there's always one main root of all problems. So that the body, the mind, and the soul are not in alignment. So in these private coaching sessions, the group coaching sessions, you are going to start to understand why your body's doing what it's doing, and why your body is actually trying to help you, not hurt you, and how to bring yourself back into alignment. We're going to focus on creating the heaven on earth. And I'm going to show you how you can start to insist on that for yourself, so that you can start to create this for yourself. When you start creating this for yourself, your body automatically rebalances itself. So if you would like that direct route, I am the bridge. It's simply, I've just created a bridge that goes between disease and permanent well-being. Because when you know how to keep yourself in balance, you can always keep yourself in balance, no matter what's going on in the world around you. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me through Messenger or through email. You can reach me through my website, connectingyoutoyou.com. Shoot me an email at lisa@connectingyoutoyou.com. Send me a message in Messenger. Let me know if you are interested in the group coaching sessions, because there, like I say, there is power in numbers, and we will move mountains in these sessions. So also, Conscious Self-Healing, my 6-week program, it's going strong. If you're interested in that, I will put you on the list for our next session. So if you are watching on Facebook, hello, hello, hello. Thank you. I see 9 people have joined me today so far. I can't see who anybody is, but thank you for hopping on, whoever you are. I'm sure Kinsey's here, Michelle, Brenda, whoever else is watching. Thank you. And if you're watching me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. Share this, like this. That would be great. I'd appreciate it. The more people that like and share, the more visible I become. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. If you are watching this and you're not part of Soul Sourced Healing in Facebook, come on over, join my Facebook community, Soul Sourced Healing. So, and again, if you'd like to read my book and start to get a different perspective on our bodies and what it takes for healing, so The Simplicity of Self-Healing is available on Amazon.com. So again, let's start insisting on heaven on earth. Let's stop playing the disease game. Let's start creating the heaven on earth, the healthy, happy, harmonious existence that we are all desiring. Let's create it for ourselves first, and then spread it to the rest of humanity. If you're in, give me a thumbs up. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Create for yourselves a great week. Until next week, ciao for now. Thanks so much.